Hi there, it's Sue at Miller's Laboratory. Thanks for joining me today. It's been a while since I made a video. I apologize. I've just been busy with life and wasn't able to work in the lab very much for the last couple of weeks, but I have finally finished this Shabby Chic journal that I was working on, and I'm really excited to flip through it with you. I realize now that I forgot to count how many pages are in it, so I will pop that up on the screen there. And of course, if you are seeing the video, then the book is available in my Etsy shop, and I'd love for you to go and take a look at it. So this book is made from an old Reader's Digest cover, and it's actually a cover that I recycled. So I had made another book with it that sat in my shop for a while and didn't sell, and so I thought I would just redo it, and I did make a little series of videos about how I was doing that. The size of this is approximately 7.5 inches tall, 5.5 inches wide, and then the width at the spine is about 1.5 or 1 3/4. And once again, we are a little bit chubby here. I can squeeze that together a little more, but right now it's at about 2.5 inches wide there at the opening edge. So I have it tied closed here just with a length of some vintage lace that I picked up, and I just want to show you here before I take that off the little dangle that I put up in the corner. It's just tied on with some velvet ribbon. There are some little buttons on there, some pearls, fake of course, a little heart charm that looks like a lock, and then this pretty little one with the pearls on it, and then a little made for you charm at the bottom. There's some chain on there and such. So the spine is covered with this old vintage bedspread fabric, and then the 5 signatures are stitched in with some sort of cherry pink or cherry red waxed thread there. All right, let's just take this off so you can see the rest of the cover, and I'm just going to slide it off, which is the sneaky way to do it, but it's a lot easier than tying and retying the bow all the time. You guys can do it that way too. So the cover of this book was sort of whitewashed and treated with some crackle medium, and then this pretty peony image is decoupaged on there. The back is just obviously no image, but it has the crackle on it as well. So let's look inside, shall we? Okay. I've used a lot of really beautiful digitals in here, lots of pink and red, lots of florals. So I just put a book plate here so you could write your name and the date on the inside, and we'll just flip through and I'll point out the things that I think are interesting. Okay, there's a lot of vintage paper in here also. There's vintage fabric, and of course new things too. So here I've made a little up tuck spot with some vintage, I think this was a table runner or something with eyelet on it, and this pretty scalloped edge. And inside here I have tucked a little faux envelope. There's just a piece of gold elastic holding it closed, and this opens all the way up. It's not glued closed, so you can use this to write on. It's a journaling spot, and actually you could even journal on the outside too. And then inside I have just tucked these little, these are prints of Polaroids of different flowers. So I've used these as journal cards. So those are just tucked inside there, and you could tuck other little treasures in there too, whatever you want. Some pretty little photographs or whatever you might have. It just tucks right up inside there. All right. This page is a flip out, and it's got this pretty scallop on it. It flips out, and it's just got this Latin book page in here, which I want you to make sure and feel it, because you can actually feel the impressions where the letters were printed. So it's really cool. And then I had a video on these pockets, which are like a full, the whole thing is a pocket. inside this particular one, I tucked a couple of these. I have these actual old antique books, and I've just made copies of the pages and made them into little tags. Actually, they're kind of big tags, but you could write on those too if you wanted to. I thought they just looked pretty in there. And what I like about them is that you can see through the vellum. So if I put a picture there like that one, you can see. And if I put this one over here, then you can see the daisy through the vellum, which I just think looks really cool. There. So that's how I had it to start. All right. This is from an old bookkeeping textbook. I've printed out one of my collections of these confirmation girl photos. And this is some really beautiful vellum, just a print that I made on vellum. An old book from a stamp collecting manual from the late 1800s or early 1900s. Some more digitals. This is from a really old ledger that I have. This is authentic. Some tea-dyed pink paper here. Just lots of journaling space. It's the other half of that ledger page. And then this is another video that I did where I made all of these little tags with the peonies on them and made these little pockets that look like envelopes to put them in. So there's several of those throughout the book here. When I go through the second half of the signature, it's all the same papers, so no need to explain what they all are. Here's the other half of that pocket. In this one, I just tucked this pretty journal card, that pretty digital image of that girl. And then this is just a printout of an old ladies' clothing catalog that I just thought was cool. So you could do whatever you like with that. You could use it to collage on something else, or tuck some little paper inside there to make it into a, an envelope or whatever you want to do. On this page, I'm going to just pop this clip off of here. This is a little fold down page. So there's lots of journaling space there, and you can also flip that up and journal on the other side. And then when it's folded up and clipped, it also becomes a tuck spot. And I just put this vintage glassine envelope in there with a couple of things. This is just a printout of a really beautiful floral from a rose book that I have, and then a little journal card here that I made with some collage using really pretty collage background paper that I printed out. I try to remember to say it every time, but I cannot tell you where all these digitals came from when I'm doing the video because there's just too many. But I do have linked down below a Google spreadsheet that lists all of the Etsy shops that I've purchased digitals from. And if there is a specific one you want to know about, just let me know. I'm happy to share. This is a little tuck spot that I created. This is a photo. I have a lot of my own photos of peonies, and so I'm just using that as a little pocket. And in here I tucked this little accordion folded journaling spot. This is made with a little paint chip that's shaped like a house, which is cute. Second signature here. That image looks like it's upside down, but it actually, when we get to the other half, where you see the other half of the page, it's like flipped up and down, like kind of like a playing card is. So that's just how it was. And this is from a really old lodge ledger that I have. This is from 1892. Isn't that pretty handwriting? I really like that. This is a music page that's red on one side. I just created a couple of little tiny library pockets here with a punch that I have, and just tucked a couple of little tiny tags in there to write on. Be really cute to put also some like the little school photos or something like that in there. Swan. This page flips out, and there's a couple more journaling cards in here. It's a pretty one there. And I did kind of punch the edge of this paper, so it's got a pretty lacy sort of edge to it. It's another one of these lovely Victorian ladies in white made into a journal card. Okay. All right. This one was actually a digital that I ran through the printer again and printed this floral image over top of it. It wasn't on the original file. This is from an old girl's notebook from the 40s. And then on this page I just stapled some of this tulle that has the little polka dots on it. I thought that would be cute if you wrote underneath and then had that flip down over top. It's a really beautiful feeling paper here in German from a book. This is some vintage embroidery here that I used as a pocket. And I've just tucked an old page from a little bird guide in here and made that into a little journaling area. Lots of space to write on that. And that's just tied up at the top there with some pink tulle. Here I've stitched an envelope into the middle of the signature and put a little card in there to journal on. Pretty lady with roses. It's another one of those peony tags in the pocket. This page also is like a little flip, but I just clipped it closed and tucked another little journaling card inside there, so you can write in here too. And then here's the card. This is a faux postcard. I mean, this is a digital that I printed. It's not authentic. Okay, going back through our signature here now. On this page I've created a little, I showed this in another video too. You can take this off and this unfolds and it is a journaling spot too. It's all tucked closed here, and you can watch my other video to see that. I'm not going to open it here. This could take too long if I open every single thing. It's from an old stamp collecting book, the page itself is, that I stamped on here. Okay, this is the other half of that really beautiful digital. So on the other side of the page, it's just this image flipped over. Another pocket page. This one opens up kind of like that for writing. Try to give you lots of writing space. That's what it's all about. Isn't that pretty? This is an old receipt from a drugstore. Authentic. It's beautiful cross-stitch pattern paper. I love the color and everything about that. And then an old piece of stationery with a rose. Here I've made like two little pockets on either side and tucked this journal card in there. And here's a fold-out page just made with packing paper. It gives you lots of space to write or draw or whatever you want to do. And that is, the base of that is this page, which is a book about how to direct music. Pretty little double pocket here that folds over the edge of the page. There's a tag here. And on the other side there's a little journaling card. That one is stitched around the edges. More from an old ledger, a blank page from it. It's this Knights of Pythias or whatever that I found at an antique store. And here's another one of my little confirmation girls printed out. Another one of these peony tags in a pocket. Here is a belly band I made with some ticking. Just embellished it with a couple of things, and I've tucked two different journaling cards inside there. And this page I just added a piece of an old doily, paper doily on there. Little tab on this one. And we're going back through the second half of the signature again here. This is another one of those ones where I put a little clip and folded something inside there. Just made a quick little journal card here with a picture of a bird. I think that's a flicker. And then here's another pocket. In this one I used this page from a Monet date book, vintage, and I've just made sort of like a little area to write in here. This is just tucked under, see there's just a piece of embroidery floss tied on here, and this page is just tucked underneath that here. So it could be removed, or you could add other pages in there if you wanted to. And I liked how this painting image looked through the vellum here. There's a little pocket made from an envelope. This is another postcard that I printed out. It's not the real deal. It's a digital. But I did add the stamp and the rubber stamping on the envelope there. This one is a similar journal card that you've seen. This one is just attached and flips out. And here is another page from a vintage ledger. This one has a little flip with a tag that's attached. You can write here. A little charm there of a heart. On this side I've wrapped a cutout of a print of a doily and just tucked a little tag in there. Made a pocket on that side. Here's another pocket made from a glassine bag and a tag made from an old garden book. And this is a little tuck spot, and this is another one of my peony photos. Just put on the back an index card. Very simple. You can embellish that however you like. This is a printout of a floral catalog. It's not, again, not the real thing, but I attached this really pretty page with roses on both sides. I wanted to use that, so I just put it in there. I don't know, you could write over it if you want to, but I think it's just pretty to look at for that particular one. This was a giant envelope. You can see the half of it. Here's the flap coming down that I stitched in and made two pockets out of it. This is a really cool little vintage piece of stationery. I purchased this set on eBay, and it's got a flower and a hummingbird, and it's flocked. It's fuzzy. I just love that. And this actually opens all the way up, so you could do some secret journaling inside there if you wanted to. This pocket I've just tucked a printout of an old antique Sunday school certificate. This is something that I own that I just scanned and printed out for you. You can write on the back of it or whatever you like. And I left these envelopes plain, so you could journal on those or you could decorate those however you like. Another peony here, peony tag. On this page I have a little paper clip, and I tucked this little page here. This is sort of origami-ish, but it is a piece of wrapping paper that I folded up and made into that sort of diamond shape, and then that just fits right over the edge of the page. That's another writing spot that's tucked in there for you. Get on there, you little booger. Okay. All right. Just a pink page here. I just folded the corner up just to make it interesting, and so you could see the old, this is from an old farm ledger, and it's pretty grungy and dirty, but I love it. Little flip there too. Here's another belly band, and in this one I've tucked this really beautiful peony image that I just attached to this coffee dyed envelope. So the envelope is open at the top here, and you can put whatever you like in there. I just tucked a quick little tag in there that I already had made that opens up, and you can do some writing on that, but you could put other things in there too. And then just added that little bit of velvet ribbon at the top. And I made that stick out a little bit so it's like a tab. All right, I think we're to the last signature here. So here's just a little corner pocket with another journaling card. Add a little pretty bird there. This is another pocket made from one of my photos of peonies, and I tucked another journal card in there. Added the paper ruffle at the top too, which I think adds a lot to it there. This is a really old German book page. This is an old teacher's planner page that's coffee dyed. Little card tucked in there on homemade paper. Here's a pullout from a flower book that I added in. And made a little pocket on this side of it. This is just a piece of stationery that's like Victorian looking, but I just thought that was pretty, and it kind of fits the theme, and so I just tucked that in there for you to write with, or to write on. Another pocket here. The vellum is on this side, and inside here I've made like a little folded card out of an atlas page. Pretty image of a girl here with pretty pink flowers on her belt, and then I just added that flower to embellish it. So when you open this up, there are some little tags here, but what I want you to do is pull it, and then they will flip back and forth. So just kind of like a little pop-up element, but very, very simple. And you can put this card in the pocket whichever way you like. It's kind of pretty to have, oh my goodness, it's kind of pretty to have the girl showing through the vellum too, so I can do it easier with going this way. There she is through the vellum. Okay, just a hymnal page here, and a pretty page from another bird book, hummingbirds. Another peony pocket, peony tag in a pocket here. This is just a little journal card with a really pretty image of some flowers, some roses. And I really love this digital of this fabric. This is a book page from another book that I did recently, the fall themed one that I did. I just added one of the pages there in the middle. And I made a little double belly band here with, this is just a simple journal card made from some scrapbook paper, and I just did a little collage on it and added this little bit of vintage crochet lace on there for a tab. It's another one of these pretty journaling cards with the vintage or antique printout of the antique photos. This pocket, I've made a little booklet. I'm going to go ahead and untie it. So it opens up like this, and then there's just several pages stapled in here for you to write on. You could tear these out and use them in collage or whatever you want to do. I'm just going to set that aside because I'll need to tie that back up, put it back in the book. Here I've used just some pretty lace from an old hanky. It's got swans and it just flips up. So I just thought that was pretty, and you could write underneath it and all through the page there. Little flip page here with another little journal card here. Pretty little girl with her basket of flowers. And on this page I just folded two pages together and glued here, here, and here, and then this is actually hand stitched down the middle as well. So we have just two small side pockets here with some little cute little things tucked in. This is a little place card I added the bird to, and I wrote Zola on there. That was my grandma, one of my grandma's names. Couple little tags there. Okay. right. Just some pretty digitals there. And here I've added my label and signed the book. So that is it. And I hope that you like that. Again, please take a look at my shop. I am working diligently to try and get some more items in there. I appreciate you visiting me today. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing if you feel compelled to do that. And have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.